You've never heard such laughter? Such laughter. When my time in China was over, I went back to study with old Mr. Shore. He greeted me at the train station. He gave me a mantra. And then he said, "Tell me what this means." The same moon shines on 10,000 rivers. Well, I was like Tom Feltonstein. I knew the answer right away. And I started to give him an answer. After all, I had known him almost 2 years. But this was to say with him. He said, "You don't have to answer that question now. You have 3 days. 3 days and 3 nights to answer that question." So I went back to my little place, and I started writing the answers. The same moon shines on 10,000 rivers. And it meant this under certain circumstances. It meant that. Then I would lie down on my blanket, which was on the floor, and I would think of another reason, another answer. I would get up and write that. It wasn't long until I had several pages filled with answers. The same moon shines on 10,000 rivers. When I went to see Mr. Shore, I must have given him the right answer because he kept me for a suit to study under the Taoist tradition, which is very hard. You only see the master once every 30 days. Only once in 30 days, well, 28 days, a moon. He gave me a discipline to do. That discipline was to walk down and go into this village and to see good in everybody, no matter what they looked like, no matter what they said, did, but to keep looking at them till I could see some good. I still do that. It's the funnest discipline that ever was. All of you, try it. Keep going until you can see something good about that one. Now, sometimes it's negative. It was real easy for me to see a pretty lady and see something good. It wasn't so easy to see an old man. On my last day in China with Mr. Shore, he didn't come the way he was supposed to. He was supposed to come right down and greet me with the Chinese greeting. And I get the Chinese. He didn't come, and he didn't come, and he didn't come. Finally, late in the day, I sent the little Chinese soldier that was there to ask for Mr. Shore to please come. I only got to see him once in 28 days. He was the only one in that part of the world that could speak English. Well, finally he showed up. He was wearing slippers. He looked very angry. He looked at me and he said, "You fool." I didn't know what he meant. I had done everything I was supposed to do. He looked at me and second time, he said, "You fool!" And then he spun around and he left. And that was the last time I saw Mr. Schurer. Never ever saw him again. Some months later, I'm home, and there's a letter for me. And my dad, with great anticipation, said, "There's a letter from China for you." In those days, it was very rare to get letters from so far away. And I recognized the date on the letter. It was the date of the incident. I called that the incident. The day he called me a fool. I opened the letter and I read it. And it said approximately, "Dear Bill, I will this day call your attention to the most difficult thing I've ever done. This day I'm going to tell you all that stands between you and self-fulfillment, between you and peace, between you and joy, between you and victory. All that stands between you and it." The letter went on. "This day I'm going to do the most difficult thing I've ever done. I'm going to show you how 2 words, they're just sounds. Word can't hurt you, you know. Just a sound. I'm going to show you how 2 words will step between a friendship of many years." I had to stop and think what the 2 words were. He had called me a fool. "You fool," and walked out. Mr. Schurer passed on a few months later. But he is aliver now than he ever was. Mr. Schurer called me a master. And he said, "But when I do, I want you to know what a master is. And never abuse it. You can't teach it, but never abuse it. What a master is one who recognizes God. Who can say, this is it. This is it. This is it. That's all a master is. Before our session is over with, I hope I can call everyone's attention to all that stands between you and joy, between you and the answer to every question, between you and wealth, between you and sufficiency. I hope I can do that in the hours ahead. And I thank you very much. We'll take a break to go. Thank you.